Tired of that burning feeling after every meal? The chest pain, the irritation in the throat, those nights where you just can't lie flat without paying the price? You are not alone. Millions of people pop pills every single day just to survive dinner. But here's the hidden truth. Those pills don't solve your problem. They just silence the symptoms. If you really want to beat reflux, you have to fix the daily habits that are keeping the fire alive. And in this video, I'll share the 7 simple changes that completely turn things around for me and my clients. Plus, I'll reveal which habits made the biggest difference at night when reflux is usually at its worst. Quick intro. Hi, I'm Reese Mander. I have a master's in clinical nutrition and I run the Good Gut Nutrition Company, dedicated to helping people heal their digestive system naturally. Over the years, I've worked with thousands of people battling reflux, and those people have normally tried everything: medications, new diets, endless Google rabbit holes, and still suffered with reflux. But when we broke things down into a few daily habits, their lives finally changed. I'll share those exact habits with you today, and I'll also warn you about the red flags you should never ignore, because sometimes reflux isn't just reflux. Here's something that most people don't realize. Reflux isn't really an acid problem. If it were, every acid blocking pill would cure it for good. But what happens? You take the pill, symptoms disappear for a while, and then they creep back, often worse. And that's because reflux is normally about pressure, bacteria, fungi, and lifestyle patterns that you repeat every single day. Fix the patterns, you'll fix the reflux. So let's start with habit number 1. And stick with me till the end, because habit number 6 is the one almost everybody skips, yet it's one of the fastest ways to stop the burn. Habit number 1, meal timing. The first habit, eat earlier. When I had acid reflux, I stopped eating 3 hours before bedtime. Why? Because when you lie down on a full stomach, gravity can't do its job. And the acid comes from the stomach up into your esophagus, up into your mouth, especially if you have something interfering with that lower esophageal sphincter, like an overgrowth of yeast or bile. I can't tell you how many clients told me they feel better just from this one simple change. If you've ever woken up in the middle of the night choking on acid, this could be your game changer. But timing alone won't solve everything, because the size of your meals also makes a difference. And that brings us on to habit number 2. Big meals require more acid to be produced. Most people with acid reflux are suffering from low acid to begin with, caused by bacteria like H. pylori or fungi like Candida. Larger meals are more difficult to digest, putting more strain on your stomach, leaving you feeling uncomfortably full for hours. The fix? Smaller meals and more chewing. Here's the surprising part. Chewing doesn't just make food easier to digest, it actually signals the release of enzymes from your body that improve digestion. This makes your life a lot more comfortable. Now, you might be wondering, what if it's not how much you eat, but what you eat? That brings us on to habit number 3. Now, not all foods are equal when it comes to acid reflux. Coffee, alcohol, chocolate, they all trigger a common cause of acid reflux called Candida or Candida albicans. But here's the trap that most people fall into. They cut everything at once. They feel miserable and then they quit and go back to eating the way they used to before. The smarter way is to keep a trigger journal. Write down what you ate, when symptoms hit, and you'll spot the personal offenders within a week. For me, personally, coffee on an empty stomach was the worst. Alcohol was also a nightmare too. But once I spotted those, removed them, I felt significantly better very quickly. Remember, that's not a long-term solution. It buys you time to figure out your underlying root cause. Back in my case, it was an overgrowth of Candida yeast causing my problem. But what about nighttime reflux? When you're asleep and you can't track anything? That's where habit number 4 comes in. Gravity is your best friend at night. When you have lower esophageal sphincter problems or low acid problems, sleeping flat is practically an invitation for the acid to come from the stomach up into the esophagus and the mouth while you sleep. 2 simple tweaks changed everything for me. Number 1, sleeping on my left-hand side, and number 2, slightly elevating my pillow up a little higher than flat. Here's the science. Your most important digestive organs are on your right-hand side. So lying on your left allows less compression and it appears to help with reflux. Also, raising your bed a few inches or using a very specifically designed pillow to raise you up higher can help keep the acid inside your stomach. The one we like we'll link to in the description below. I'll tell you, this one habit alone helped clients who swore that nothing else worked. But here's the kicker. Even if your habits are perfect, stress can undo it. That's habit number 5. Ever notice how your reflux gets worse or flares up when you're anxious or stressed? Stress temporarily reduces stomach acid, which delays stomach emptying, making your reflux worse. One of my clients mentioned her reflux was worse on work days and seemed to disappear on holiday. It is no coincidence, which is why I teach a 2-minute breathing that my clients can do before they eat, where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and hold again for 4 seconds before beginning to breathe again. This box breathing puts your body in what we call a parasympathetic state, which is often referred to as the digest and rest state. But even stress management isn't the full story, because what you do right after eating can make a huge difference. Let's move on to habit number 6, one hardly anyone talks about that can make a huge difference. Here's the habit that most people skip: light movement after eating. Instead of eating so much food that you collapse onto the sofa, we recommend a brisk walk after eating. However, you cannot do this if you are 10 out of 10 full. So what we recommend is something called harahachibu, which is the Japanese phrase for eating until you are 8 out of 10 parts full. If you eat until you are ready to burst, you are more likely to get reflux than if you eat until you are not hungry anymore. Then you are able to do a little movement, which improves our digestion, improves blood sugar regulation after meals, and your stomach has to work less hard when it's not as full. This is such a game changer for the people I have worked with, just not eating until you're ready to explode. But even with perfect timing, smaller meals, and movement, you still need one more daily shift, and that's habit number 7. Gulping big amounts of water can bloat your stomach. People also used to think that it dilutes your stomach acid production. Now, while science is yet to find a link between drinking large amounts of water at a meal and dilution of stomach acid, we find practically it just doesn't help digestion to consume more of your water around your food. We think it's a good idea to have the majority of your daily water intake away from your meals. On top of that, soothing teas like chamomile or licorice or slippery elm can calm irritation in the throat and the stomach, buying you time. Now, they're not miracle cures, but they can give you temporary relief if you're someone who suffers from reflux and gets that burning irritation inside the esophagus. Now, before we wrap up, I wanted to give you a warning. Habits are powerful, but sometimes the reflux comes with other digestive problems that may be more urgent. Unexplained weight loss, vomiting blood, or black stools are red flags that need urgent medical attention. If you have any of these problems, I would immediately seek help from your doctor and your medical team. Remember, if you're trying to get to the root cause of your acid reflux by using some of these habits to buy you time, we've put up a free quiz for you that takes just 2 minutes to do. Head to myacidrefluxquiz.com. Fill out that short quiz. It will tell you what's most likely causing your root issue so that you can actually fix the problem and not have to worry about any of these habits and eat just like a normal person again. Now, what I want you to do is pick 2 of these habits and try them every single day for a week, and then come back and let me know if you've had an improvement in your reflux. If this video helped, I make videos here for you guys every single week. Please subscribe so you don't miss out, and comment below with your biggest reflux trigger in case there are some that some people just had no idea was causing their reflux, and we can all learn together. I'll see you guys in the next one.